So, little tip for the 350 Legend here, specifically the Savage model. So, I had a misfire yesterday. I had a perfect opportunity to shoot another deer this year, and this problem I had, God, pisses me off. I learned my lesson yesterday, and I'll explain. So, the story, there's a creek that runs along the back here. I was sitting, I don't know, probably about 600-700 yards that way, and there's a big hill here. It's about 200 feet high. Well, about 2 o'clock yesterday, 5 deer come walking up top of the hill, and I could have probably taken a shot, but I didn't know if anyone was up on top of the hill there, because about 400 or 500 yards past the top of the hill, it goes onto another property, so I didn't want to just shoot blind on, especially shooting up. So I made my way back around as quiet as I could. It still made just a ton of noise. Walked up this path right here and jumped all 5 deer about 4 o'clock. So the problem, damn it, I'm still upset about this. The problem that I had was that the bolt must have got caught on my clothing and moved up a little bit. And I don't know if it's like this with all 350 Legends or maybe just the Savage models, the Axis. But if this is not fully seated, I imagine it's probably like this with all of them. But specifically for this, if this is not fully seated, that firing pin could have a little gap. From my understanding, it might not strike the primer as efficiently as possible. It still shows up. What happened yesterday, basically, is this was up a little bit. I went to go fire, and this just fired down, and the round did not come off. So the deer started running. I made a bleat noise, and they stopped to look at me, but by the time I was able to rack another round, they took off, so I wasn't able to get a good shot. And it would have been a perfect long shot broadside. Had this would have fired, I would have had another deer this year. But this is basically what happened. So let's take this out. All right, we are clear. All right, so let's pretend that there's a round in there. So as I'm walking through the woods with this slung over my shoulder, sometimes this will get caught on your clothing and it'll pull up a little bit. Well, what happened, that's exactly what happened yesterday, because if you watch here, when I went to fire, the bolt just flew down and the pin didn't fire like it should. So you heard the dull thud that it made versus when it's fully seated. Nice solid click. So I learned my lesson on that one. I mean, it was the height of the moment. I didn't really expect to see the deer that fast, so I just went to take the shot, but this was up. So make sure that is fully seated. Now, another thing to keep in mind with these rifles, and it really goes with any rifle, but I know specifically these Savage models kind of have a little issue, and I'm sure there's plenty of videos on it, but when you go to put the mag in, rock the back in first. A lot of guys just want to shove it in flat, and it won't seat properly, and you might not be able to ramp a new round in there. But if you rock this in, almost kind of like how an AK-47 mag goes in, you got to really rock it in. But rock the back in so this is flush, and then push it in. That way your reloads go smooth and efficiently. So hopefully this helps. I don't know. I do know, though, that I could have had a perfect shot, and I missed it because of that freaking misfire. So hopefully someone sees this and it helps them out.